Hey everybody, welcome to the Board Game Batcave. This week we're talking about Mice and Mystics, one of our favorite games, and we'll cut right to it. So you start out first here with components.
Components. The minis for the character representations they're very well done for the mice characters and the little monsters, the cockroaches and the rats and everything. I've seen videos of somebody painting theirs on YouTube, and they just come gray in the normal thing. Well, beige actually. But I saw somebody spending the time to paint those up, and they look really awesome painted. But even if you don't want to go that extra mile, they are very well done. All the little tile pieces, the cards, and everything, they give you just enough to play the game and to play it well. And they're all really good quality, and they look good. Oh, and components. The tile maps themselves are some of the most awesome map tiles I've seen in a game before. Really creative the way they did it and everything. And I mean, I would use those for other games, and everything. They were really thick cardstock, and they looked awesome. I'm going to give that I'm going to go 9 on that. They were really well done.
I really like the tiles. I like the fact that they don't make them squares.
Yeah.
They make them whatever shape the cobblestone is or the courtyard. Like one tile has the whole tabletop is a square.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like the pieces. I like the fact you get quite a bit of pieces. And even though the cards are small, they're still good quality cards.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like they're going to fall apart in 3 or 4 plays.
Definitely not.
So I can't argue with that. I'm going to give it a 9 too. Because the artwork is
pretty cool, pretty awesome.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I'll give it a 9. Also.
Well, components, I guess it could be a couple different things, but the storybook would be a component too that pushes the story forward. It's awesome. Tells a little story or little tale, and then you go into the action, exploring or fighting or doing whatever you're supposed to do in that certain area. The storybook itself as a component, top notch. I would give the storybook a 10. The other components a 9, but the storybook itself is really excellent. Well done. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think I'm going to be in agreement with these guys. In fact, I'm going to give it a 9.5, and it's partially for some of the things they were just mentioning, the gameplay, the rule book itself, and then just the book that you read through to play each scenario, each section of the game. It's really well done, put together perfectly for you. Tries to address some possible questions you might have about rules right there along in the book as you're at that section. So yeah, I think it's fantastic. The miniatures blew me away the first time I saw the game. They're really, really well done.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really find anything wrong with it, except if you had to try to find something to pick at, some of the cards are a little small. I'm sure they were trying to just keep you from getting confused about the different decks. So some of the decks are smaller than others. But again, that's just trying to find something wrong with it at that point. So
I would say I think some of the cards are small, but when you look at them, it doesn't look like they compress stuff too much to get them small. Even though they're small size, there's everything on there that you really need to play, and it's I don't have trouble reading it or looking at everything.
Right.
They could have put it on a bigger card, made the graphics a little bit bigger, but I think it serves its purpose pretty well though.
Yeah.
Only reminded me when you said the storybook and the story in the book.
Yeah.
What I really was happy about, which I didn't expect, but when they put it in there, it's happy, is that nowadays it seems like when you get a miniature game that's kind of like a dungeon crawl or whatever, that they give you enough to play 1 or 2 games, and then you have to buy an expansion.
Yeah,
sure.
And I have an expansion for this, but we haven't even gotten to it because we keep dying, but we also keep trying to play the same ones over and over. and there's plenty in this book to keep you active for a while. It's not like this.
Definitely.
You're not burned out of this box within 2 weeks, and now you're looking for an expansion.
No,
And
because
it's Plaid Hat, and I've noticed now that Plaid Hat with Dead of Winter and this is they're
Top
putting
notch.
out good stories.
Yeah.
But that was just my extra aside. Oh, and they would have gotten a 9.5 out of me if they'd have painted them.
Right.
Yeah, nobody really. I mean, nobody really does.
Nobody
that.
does that anymore, or at all. But
Yeah, I mean, some games sell painted minis, but you got to pay extra for them. And like I said, you know, if you're the artistic type, you could do those yourself. And but they're high enough quality where they would look really good with paint on them. But I think they look good on their own. You know,
or at least like in Adventures, where you could offer me to buy the little set of painted versions. You know, I'd pay $10 for a set of painted versions of this. I know you got to get these painted.
You'd pay
$200.
$20 for
Well, yeah.
painted minis. Don't be like, oh, 10 is my cutoff or something.
Well, I think I may have paid 15 for those Adventures.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so that sums up components, which is obviously high. Now we're going to go into theme.
Theme. I love the theme of this. I didn't know I was going to be really into this game until the first time we played it, because it does seem kind of childlike.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fairy tale thing, and then you're going through, you're playing mice and stuff like that. You know, normally I'm into the zombies, pirates, space shoot 'em up stuff or whatever, and this seemed like, you know, I thought, well, kids will get into that. But I tell you what, we've played it as a 4-man adult only, you know, group going through it, and it works. You know, it may be set for where younger people can play it and everything, but I mean, older people are going to like this game too. I appreciate it now more than I did at the beginning, and it is one of my favorite games. I would still play this game whenever we get a chance. So theme-wise, give it a chance, and I think I'm going to go a 9 on this also.
That's high from you.
Yeah, because it was a theme that I didn't think I would really enjoy, but they pulled it off well, and now it's one of my favorite games. So if a kid game can do that for me, then I'm going to give it high marks.
Well, I agree, and I knew about this game I think this is based off of that role-playing game that came out. It was a graphic novel, and then it was a role-playing game, and then it was this. But I'm not sure it's the same people.
Mouse Guard?
Mouse Guard. It's not the same world.
Yeah.
But I think the guy was obviously influenced by this.
Well, and I think even Mouse Guard was probably influenced by, what was it?
Secret of Nim or
So
something?
yeah, Disney movie a long time ago or something like that. And that was a great movie. And then Mouse Guard, excellent graphic novel if you haven't checked it out. But they've got an RPG, Mouse Guard, that's, I could see this is really along the same flavor.
Yeah, and we'd played I don't know if you'd played it. Keith played with us one time. We played Mouse Guard once or twice, and I enjoyed the thought of mice with needle swords and stuff, and the kids got into it. But I did look at it then as a way to get my kids into role-playing
It's a gateway
games.
thing.
Yeah,
If you've got younger kids and you're trying to get them into RPG,
but
play something flavored.
They did this well enough that adults can enjoy this just as much. And I think it just really comes down to, if you're playing with a 7-year-old, you emphasize the story more and talk the story up and downplay all the dice rolling.
Yeah.
Whereas the adults are more about the combat and moving on to the next thing, and the story is secondary. But theme-wise, I love it. I'm not going to go to 10, but I'm going to go 9 too.
Wow. High praise from both of us.
No question, and once again, I cannot argue with it. To me, the theme fits perfect from top to bottom. Just everything about it, the tiles, the way they're drawn, the artwork all ties in together and everything. It's clearly it was made with kids in mind.
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic. We've played it with some younger kids that seem to really have a lot of fun with it. So. But then, as they've mentioned, we've also played it just as adults, and it's challenging enough for us for sure. And the kids really they seem to love it. So to me, I think that seems to be something that Plaid Hat really excels at, is finding a good theme and making it all work together. Nothing feels forced. Nothing seems like they just slapped this theme on top of a pre-existing game. So 9.
Wow.
Excellent. Yeah.
All right, I think it's pretty much straightforward on that, and then next would be gameplay.
Gameplay. What's the fourth one again?
Replayability.
Replay. Okay. Gameplay, because I want to make sure I get everything in the right space. Gameplay, excellent. It is engrossing. You really get the idea of you're playing the little mouse. You can explore, you can fight, you can interact with the maps. You know, a lot of times the maps will have little special things you can do also. Find something, maybe make a little rope thing to get you out of the river with like a thread and a fish hook or whatever that you can find in the map. So gameplay is really, it's engrossing, it's detailed. They give you a lot of variety, and they give you some little extra Easter eggs or whatever you want to call it that you can find in the game and do. The only thing that I can, if I were to say any con out of any of this stuff, gameplay, what is the beginning age for this game? It's fairly
I think
young.
they say 8 and up.
It is 7 up.
7 and up.
I'm going to tell you right now, 7 and up, we've played this, 4 adults playing this game, we've gotten smoked. Like in room 1. If you're not smart about it, or if you go into a room and you do a little whatever, well, you can die quick in this game, and that's the only thing I've got bad to say about this. 7-year-olds, if they play...
Well, I think they obviously have to have an adult with them.
Well, I do too, but I think some of this is, like maybe 10 or up is what I would set this for, you know.
Rainbow's 7.
Yeah, and she enjoyed it too and everything. And that's the only thing I've got, being real nitpicky or whatever. It's got a little bit of, I wouldn't even call it a learning curve or anything, because the game itself is pretty easy to learn. It's just, it's a hard game to play for what I would consider a semi-kid game, But still gameplay with all the good stuff in there and everything you can do. I'm gonna go 9 again.
Wow.
Yep.
This is a first.
Yep.
Yeah.
My gameplay complaint lies in this sort of the same thing that you were talking about with. It's that cheese wheel. It's a good idea. I think I'm not saying get rid of the cheese wheel where it ticks down. It's like a time clock.
It's a timer. Whenever bad stuff happens in the game, this little cheese wheel fills up with sections of cheese, and whenever it fills up completely, something bad happens.
Yeah, something bad happens.
Yeah.
And that's a good idea. I like that idea. What I don't like is that after you defeat the bad guys, is the longer you stay on a map, it's like it's hurrying you off the map.
And I like that because
but you're taking away from the exploration part then.
Yeah.
And so what they wind up doing is they have to basically tell you what to look for that thread and the thing. Basically, you already know what you're looking for when you start searching, rather than, here's an odd thing in the room. I'm going to search it, and what do I find?
Yeah.
Now, because they're like, you got to get off this map. You got to get to the next map. I feel like they're forcing me to just run through a maze and a rat in a maze, rather than trying to let me explore it like an adventure, rather than, So that's my con, is that the mechanism could probably work differently. I don't say take it out. I like it. I just don't think I think it's pushing you out of the maps too fast sometimes.
See, I like that sense of urgency in the game, because I
you're
don't
giving
like
up something else. See, that's the kid version. To play with the kids, here your 7-year-old is like, "Ooh, what's this over here?" and what's sparkly, and you're like, "Come on, get off the map."
I can definitely see that point. Yeah.
So I just would change that about it, and maybe because like he was saying, with the 7 and up is a little bit too low. Maybe make a basic version and advanced rules so that you can play just to let kids play. Let them make their own decisions, rather than saying, okay, now you're going to have to do this if you want to not die, and you're going to have to do this if you want to get through this map.
Yeah.
So that took away some of the smoothness of it. I still like it. I still like the gameplay. I think it's neat. It's different. than anything else we play.
Yeah.
And I like different. But there was a couple of times in the rule book that we couldn't find something.
And it was worded just a little weird or funky, or it was only in one section, and there's like 2 or 3 rule books and everything, you know. I mean, they're not thick by any means, but it may be on some little sidebar and some little corner of the whatever. And we've had trouble finding 2 or 3 things in there. But
a lot of games have that, but
yeah.
Still, it's going to keep it from being up at 9 for me, and I'm going to go 8 for my gameplay. I really like it, but there was enough because if it had been an adult game only, it would have got higher.
Yeah.
But because it seems to be trying to satisfy both niches, they're gonna have to fix some things in it if they really want to satisfy both.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think there's a lot that I'm going to be able to disagree with or come up with that's a lot different than they've already said. It's a fun game to play. It plays, I think, pretty smoothly. The first time through, or the first section that you go through, you're probably going to be referring to the rule book quite a lot. But eventually, you sort of get the feel of it. You get the flow of how it's supposed to work for you. I'm going to agree with Jared as far as I like the urgency. I like the idea that it's pushing you through. I can see also the fun of wanting to explore a little bit more, but that part didn't really seem to bother me. For me, again, we're trying to find issues, we're trying to find problems so that we don't have to give it 10s across the board. It's a great game, but for me, if you do fail, if your party fails and everything goes south for you, your only option is to start all the way back at the beginning step. And so sometimes you can feel like you've played, when you don't feel like it, you've played through these tiles a number of times. And so the first few tiles, you're kind of going on autopilot because you know exactly the quickest way to get through, what you need to find, and that kind of thing. So, but, maybe if we were a little bit better with the gameplay or had a little better luck, we wouldn't have to be starting over. So
you want a safe position.
Yeah, something like that. If I, again, just trying to find issues with it, because I'm going to go ahead and give it a really strong 7.5 for gameplay. It's a lot of fun. But that part of it maybe doesn't shine quite as much as the other things we've rated so far for me.
Well, since you brought that up, I agree with that. And whenever things go pear-shaped in this game, they go that way quickly.
Yeah,
it's like a domino effect. If you've got one person that goes down, there's going to be a good chance somebody else is going down. And if you've got a few monsters left on the board and half your party's gone, then you're in trouble.
Yes.
And they don't call it, because it's kid-oriented, they don't call it dying in the game. It's captured.
Yeah, you're captured. I like that, too. Yeah.
But when you're captured, it's over.
Yeah, it's
unless you've already got one guy almost beat down to 1 hit point.
We've had a couple instances where we've lost a couple of people and the other two squeaked by. But it doesn't happen very often.
Maybe they should make of course then, if you made a ability to run away and take some kind of punishment for it, then your other guys never explains how they get uncaptured.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's a gameplay which is still high. Mm-hmm. And then next and last would be replayability.
Every time we've played this, I've enjoyed it, and anytime after that, whenever somebody said, "You want to play?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll play." Mm-hmm. And I would play anytime anybody brought it up in the future. The replayability on this game, and mainly it's because we played for several hours of this, several times, and several hours at a time and everything, and we have only gotten into a couple of chapters.
Yeah, we've not finished
we
it
haven't
yet.
We've gotten not very far. And so I want to keep on seeing what the next map looks like, what the next chapter of the story is. Yeah, a lot of games that I enjoy and that we play, it's the same dang thing every time, and I may enjoy replaying them, and sometimes I don't. But this one, I guarantee you, there's enough filler and story in this. It's going to take someone several hours to complete it through and everything. And I still have not finished the story, and I want to know what happens. So I'm going to put the replayability on this. I'm going to go 9.5 on this. I've scored this game higher than any game I think I know.
Yeah.
Dice Master maybe is, but this game, one of my favorite games, and replayability is very high for me. So
Ooh, I feel like I'm going to bring in Jared down now. No, I judge replayability, especially on a game that we've had for a while and played it a lot. That tells me a lot. So it tells me that the replayability is high on this game because I can throw this out there and everybody will play it without grumbling. Now, what he was saying was that what dings the replayability is that you have to play through all the maps you've already played through.
yeah,
And if it's with the same group of people,
yeah,
you're like, oh, come on, let's just hurry and grab that. Let's go, go.
yeah.
Which puts a little bit of damper on it for me. I still want to see what's going to happen at the end. I've still got an expansion on my shelf
Yeah.
waiting to, add on. So
Yeah.
it's definitely replayable because I have to finish it.
And I guess some people, if they were playing this game and something bad happened, they could just continue on to the next story, next chapter. We've just been like, oh no, we're going to have to replay this, and
We don't feel like
be
we've
the-
actually gotten there.
If we can't go to the next chapter until we truthfully finish it. you
Right.
know, so,
Right.
yeah.
And I guess that is a possibility.
Yeah.
So ultimately, replayability with this, when you talk about how many times you can play it, it doesn't seem like that's a lot of miniatures, but it is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go 8 also on it. I think.
Can't believe you're going this low on this
I
game.
know. I feel like I'm letting you down or something because you always go lower than
Hey,
me.
you're not the only one that feels like you're letting me down. It's a great thing here.
I think it's. I don't because when I'm saying 8 and it's lower than what you said, I feel like it's a better game than that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But I see like something like the Dice Masters, which we have played constantly, a 10 or a 9.5.
Yeah.
So this is going to come in. Hey, it's still high.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
still a good
So
score.
I don't feel bad about it. I'm going to go 8. I'm sticking with it.
Well, I'm going to slide right in there in the middle, 8.5. Replayability is very high for me on this game. I want to see what the next chapter is going to bring. I want to find out what's happening, where the story is going to take you, what the next challenges are to figure out on the next tiles and that kind of thing. And, as mentioned, the expansion that we already have, and then the whole other expansion that's out there ready and available. So, yeah, it's...
Take my money.
there's plenty of story left in here to be discovered. So, yeah, this is, like it's already been said before, when this game gets recommended, it's a definite, yeah, absolutely, I'll play it for sure. There's a lot of games that I enjoy that I might even say, well, what else have you got? But usually if someone recommends this game, then I'm in. So I give it an 8.5, that's a high score for me for replayability.
Oh.
And,
Before you're done.
yeah.
Replayability. One thing I did like about this, and I didn't talk about it, it kind of reminds me of some video games in certain ways. As you progress in the story, not only do your characters become more powerful or you get other options or whatever, but you unlock different characters in the game also. And I really like that.
Right, that's a good point.
The archer mouse or whatever.
Mhm.
Which we've gotten her like once.
Yeah. You start off with a couple of characters, but then you unlock different stuff. And I really like that about a game too. That's another thing with replayability. Makes you want to keep on playing whenever you can unlock.
And it adds
For
to the
sure.
story.
It does, because it fits right in with the story. You come to a different room and hey, you discover
saved it,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I agree completely. I think, all in all, it's gotten really high marks from all of us. This is a game that we've had for a long time, and it just didn't make it onto the filming schedule till now, but hopefully there's people out there that maybe still are wondering about this game, and it's anymore now you're going to pay somewhere, $45 to $60 for a game, so
Yeah.
you're really hoping that you're going to get, for me, I want to get at least 5-6 hours of fun out of a game, and this has exceeded that easily, and there's plenty more to go. So, I think it's worth it. It's well made. Plaid Hat is really starting to get a reputation, with me at least, for putting out really strong, well thought out games, and I liked it.
I did too. One other thing, whenever you play this game, like I said, don't be turned off by the fact thinking it's a kiddie game. Adults should give it a chance too. But you do have to have 4 players pretty much to play this game, right? I mean, you can have 2 or 3 and somebody double up and play more than one character, but it is really set for 4 player characters going through the game, and it works, in my opinion, best whenever one person can focus on one character going through the game and everything.
But I think you more mean 4 characters because there's a single player version to the game.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah, where you can play it by yourself and just play the different characters. So
I bet that is tough.
well, it's it's a cooperative game. So
yeah, that's what I like about it too. Yep.
Playing, I've never played it single player because
I
I'm always
waiting.
waiting.
There was a single player version of it.
Yeah, there's
I would definitely play it with 4 people. I mean, the fun of it and the group camaraderie and the co-op version. That's what really shines in this game too, and everything.
And I did, and I haven't played it by myself because I don't want to get ahead in the story because I like discovering the story with the same people that I've been playing it with, and so it's kind of like a role-playing game in that effect.
Because you want to see the look on the people's faces, like when you're in the kitchen, it's like, should we poke the cat? Oh, yeah, we're going to poke the cat. Oh, yeah. Do you think that's a good idea? Oh, no, but we're going to do it anyway.
Speaking of the
they wouldn't put the cat in there if they didn't want us to mess with it,
Exactly right.
Unlocking the achievements or whatever, the pie that you get for like going to the cat room.
Yeah.
I had to have the pie.
Oh, yeah.
What does the pie do for you?
It's like we
Nothing.
totally could have skipped this room. I mean, served no other purpose like Chris. Oh, we're going to do it. I've got to get that little cardboard pie that does nothing at all for you. We all died in that room.
Yeah,
smoked.
But some died sooner than others.
Yeah.
But we went back the next time and got the pie.
Yeah,
Sure did.
So we've got a little badge. We can.
Chris is a better man for it.
Now I can move on.
The closure.
Yeah,
it's pie closure.
So I think we're gonna put that score. Well, it's right here.
Okay. Right in there.
And we're going to stop now so we can go play the game.
Cool.
Thanks for watching.
See you next
See
time.
ya.